Scandal. One more year, winding down. One more year to win the crown. Lock you up. Calypso is a reflection of what. Good afternoon, Dominica. Good afternoon to you. And welcome. Welcome to the talk on the block. Running a few minutes behind time, but I was following a story that I think you need to hear. This afternoon. Stick around after the break. You'll want to hear this one. If it's on the block, we'll talk about it. And usually during my break, I try to find out, what's going on the block. But I did find something interesting. You can tell Lou to tell Sue that there's some breaking news coming up. And stay close to your radio. But we have some interesting sponsors that has been good to us and good to you to keep these programs running. And don't forget, you too can be part of the celebration. Let's do this and come back, Dominican. Come back. Protect your property. Businessman, protect your property, insure your property. Can't wait for the hurricane, can't wait till you flood again, can't wait till you fly out and all your business coming out. Remember, no insurance company will insure your property when a storm is approaching. Get ahead of the hurricane season. Insure with a company who gives you the assurance of payment for your valid claim. Come speak with us today at the New India Assurance Company Limited, upstairs AC Shillingford and Company Limited, 24 King George Street, Roseville. Bring along an up-to-date valuation from a qualified engineer and get insured today.
Hey, you.
Who? You. Me? Yeah.
Are you looking for a quality milk that is rich, tastes good, and budget friendly? Then Alban milk is perfect for you. Alban milk contains zinc, vitamin A, C, D3, calcium, and iron, and is 28% butterfat. It's an instant full cream milk powder and dissolves quickly and lump free. Alban milk is available in 3 different sizes: 400, 900, and 1800 grams. So add Alban milk to the list the next time you shop.
Distributed by Fine Foods Inc.
Milky milk.
Just received Able Farm evaporated milk, delicious and nutritious, rich and creamy. Perfect for all uses. For drinking, for tea, coffee, cocoa, punches, juices, cooking, baking, ice pops, and ice cream, and everything else. Prices start as low as $1.55 per can. Able Farm evaporated milk. Available in two varieties, each in two sizes of cans. Able Farm evaporated milk. Available wholesale and retail at Esau Trading Limited. That milk nice, boy. Esau Trading Limited, making a difference for you.
Milky milk, milky milk, milky, milky milk. Milky milk, milky, milky, milky milk.
I see Golo in shopping for farming supplies. So I ask him, what are you doing inside Bloombox? Do you have a farm? He tells me, that's how it has sort. I've been married 37 years. Look at my money farm. He said, no, not woman, like land for farming crops. And then you understand, Bloombox is the most affordable on island. Knapsacks starting at only $57.71. Elsewhere, it's $300 plus. Cutlass seeds, seeding trays, nursery pots, sales of potting mix, all at way better prices than anywhere else. Fertilizers, 3-in-1 multi-tool, and so much more. Located on Federation Drive, Goodwill. Second property on the right after the Valley Link Road and on the corner of Drury Lane and Hanover Street in Rosal. Bloombox. Let's bloom together.
Dominique, here's the breaking news. I'll start with the question. Who will guard the guards, huh? An informed source has informed Q95 News that a police officer is now in police custody being questioned for the disappearance of 228 grams of cocaine and is now at the police station being questioned. Q95 can further confirm that he's also being questioned for the disappearance of a 12-gauge ammunition at the said police station where he is stationed. Dominica, again, who's guarding the guards? He is currently in police custody at the Criminal Investigation Department, and his lawyer is also with him as the investigation continues. This, according to my source, is a developing story, and Q95 will continue to monitor the situation closely and update you accordingly. You want to hear again? A police officer is now in police custody, being questioned for the disappearance of 228 grams of cocaine at the police station. Q95 can further confirm that he's also been questioned for the disappearance of a 12-gauge ammunition at the said police station where he is stationed. Currently, he is in police custody at the Criminal Investigation Department, and his lawyer, we're being told, is also with him as the investigation continues. Now, this is a developing story, and we will continue to monitor the situation closely and update you accordingly. Yes, this is the breaking news. Should I say congratulations to the investigating officer of the police CID department? I think congratulations are in order, okay? We're going to come back, Dominica, right after this. This is the talk on the block.
Just received Able Farm evaporated milk, delicious and nutritious, rich and creamy. Perfect for all uses. For drinking, for tea, coffee, cocoa, punches, juices, cooking, baking, ice pops, and ice cream, and everything else. Prices start as low as $1.55 per can. Able Farm evaporated milk. Available in 2 varieties, each in 2 sizes of cans. Able Farm evaporated milk. Available wholesale and retail at Esar Trading Limited. That milk nice, boy. Esar Trading Limited, making a difference for you.
Milky milk, milky milk, milky, milky milk. Milky milk, milky, milky, milky milk.
I suspect. We're going to open the lines for a few minutes here. On the telephone, hello, talk to me. Yes, good. Good afternoon. Yes?
Mr. Pelty, blessings to you, sir.
Blessings to you, sir. Blessings.
Matt, I heard you extended, right? How you say congratulations to the what?
The police, of course, they've done a good job. They've investigated. Now they bring in one of their own. I think for the past few months, another one was brought in from the Pitted Savan area. So, yeah, well, would you say that, would you want to congratulate? Maybe it's a wrong word. Maybe a wrong word. But let's go, blessing. Let's go.
Mr. Pelty, I respect your opinion and your point of view.
Yes, sir.
I watch it from a different perspective, and I've said that years ago. Matt, I do not accuse me of anything. It's just my opinion. If I was a police in Dominica, Matt, I would be very, very, very corrupt, Matt.
You're maybe making a point in the blessings because I was, during the hour, I've spoken to a few police officers, and you know what they said to me, Matt? We are under pressure. So what happened does not surprise them. They
Sorry, you were saying something. Sorry, come.
No, I'm just saying that's what you're going to express. I'm saying that they are now saying that I'm not surprised because we are under pressure. So don't surprise if it's going to continue to happen.
Matt, I am saying I do not like police officers that think they're more bad than civilians because, Matt, I know my intention and my capability. Even if I do have toes, when I have toes, I was more bad, Matt. But, Matt, for a police officer to be on high seas, in forest, in darkness, fighting all kind of corruption. Matt, did you hear me say corruption, Matt?
Yes, I heard you.
They cannot fight corruption, Matt. Can you remember Roosevelt Skerritt said he ordered the police to investigate in the labor division. They were racketeering, Matt, organized crimes.
Yes, I remember that.
And to fix it, Matt, fix it. All criminals that enter politics, Matt, they're rich. They're building all kind of mansions with, Matt, you know them pallets they take from those vendors?
Mm-hmm.
Matt, with pallet, they're building the mansions, in Mount Daniel. So I'm not saying nothing. The police, when the police start to hold those criminals, drug dealers, politicians, Matt, I will take out Matt, I get in a basin and I want somebody to bring me a big portion of water and I wash in the feet of those police officers that can bring those real criminals to justice. I empathize with the police officer, Matt, whoever they catch, because, Matt, I don't like aggressive police officers because I see them playing with their lives. But, Matt, when a man trying to survive in a country where you have politicians are the biggest criminals, kidnapping Nehru trucks and all kind of things that are happening in Dominica. Matt, I feel sorry for you to be a police officer, risking your life, and to watching man that sit down there talking foolishness every day, inciting, talking about gang and who is the Navy SEALs and the snipers, and you sit down there passing like a juju. Not if you meet a big money, you would take it. If you meet cocaine, guns, anything, you would take it. More glory be to the police officers that can't take the caution. Not that is just me.
But now that you've said that, Blessings, he has landed himself in trouble.
Matt, that is what life is all about. Matt, you going out and fish, and sometimes your boat sink, maybe a shark bite you, you go on your farm and do farming, your cutlass cut you, your fork prick your foot. Life is about the yin and the yang, Matt, and there is nothing too bad about the ramifications of our consequences. First of all, we take it into consideration, and we know what we will face, so that make us even more bold, Matt, to go behind the real hardcore criminals.
But again, Blessings, just to ask you a question, I'm hoping that I'm sure people are saying out there, I hope in Blessings you're not condoning that kind of action, illegal drugs.
It's not about condoning, it's about the justification, Matt. Because, Matt, where equal rights and justice are concerned, you cannot tell me you have the security of the state doing all what they have to do to keep you and I safe, Matt. You have politicians taking all of them to guard they and their family, and who say they have gangs to protect them. They have Navy SEALs and snipers, so they have double security. And then, Matt, you telling me that person or one of them get themselves in trouble, and all we can do is start to give them blows and say, oh, police this and police that. We don't see who the criminals are. Have a blessed day, sir.
Within every system, there are laws, and those who enforce them, obviously was. Love in the hierarchy is non-significant, so we find it necessary and highly important to gather our civil rights and surround this world with a freedom till that night to have full control. Switch here to trust and guardians, be the protectors. Listen for the bad. What the God is God. The armies, navies, and air forces, the KGBs and the petty forces, the
King Austin in the afternoon.
what the God is God.
Who will guard the gods?
Must be in a wondering. This question is
We'll take your phone calls in a few minutes, huh? Just enjoy some good calypso. King Austin in the afternoon. This is the talk on the block.
what a shocking factor. We're reading the news about one Mr. Manda would like to see. Because a chain reaction and damage future. Using our treasuries, we have made them strong, creating authorities as we go along. Knowing power develops, absolute power corrupts. Question for the lads, what the God is God. The royalties and the governments, the many houses of parliaments, the castle of the cards. What the God is God. Question for the fanatics, advocating politics in the face of failing standards.
No blessings. Somebody saying to you this afternoon, 2 wrongs don't make a right. It's very unwise. Sometimes the things you say, huh? Just a WhatsApp message that continues, Matt. Like I always said to you, I'm of the firm belief that the disappearance of the guns at St. Joseph Police Station was an inside job. It's just the tip of the iceberg. Let's go back to the telephone at this time. Hello, talk to me. Yes?
The Bible says in the book of Proverbs, a city without a wall is a broken city of no use. But what we have to understand, what happened in darkness must come to light. And sometimes when we hear things, we take our time to listen because it may have more than that within or more than whoever they caught he or she, it may have others that he may have to reveal. And that is how it is in life. So sometimes when we hear things, we just keep quiet till we get the fullness of everything.
Thank you. 449-3095.
The religious minister, the professors from Harvard, who are the God.
On the telephone, good afternoon to you, yes? Yes?
Good afternoon to you again.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
We have to be very careful in this country that we don't build a society of corruption and dishonesty. I am in full support with whoever it is, the police people who investigated, and they have brought whoever it is to justice. Justice must prevail for us to have a good country, Matt. Right has to be right, wrong is wrong. Two wrongs will never make a right, and we have to understand that if you are a police officer, you take an oath, you're supposed to be an example to the public, not to be a criminal in uniform. But I am fully in agreement with what is done so far. Good afternoon.
So you're supporting the police officers, yes, with what they've done. I think that's the point. Thank you.
What independence is, we have continued up, catching up and tendencies, watching on YouTube. If it is this soldier, depends upon who you can get. Question for the land. Who are the God? The administrators of state defense and the many heads of intelligence, DSP and national guard. Who are the God?
And as I said,
Shall it be the
you might say what you want at this point, but we must congratulate the police officers who continue to do a good job. There's some rotten eggs I've heard from Mr. Wicks in the police force. Yes, they are. Some rotten eggs. But if they've done well, say they've done well, okay? Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes? On the telephone, hello, talk to me, yes.
Yeah, good afternoon, Matt.
Good afternoon to you, sir, yes.
The police and them know who they hold in and who they don't. I'm sure the person that they have there is not a labor person.
Well, you cannot say that. You cannot say that unless you have the facts. I don't want to make this a political thing or partisan thing. How do you know who they have in their custody? What party he has voted for or not voted for? If that's the case, if that's the case, then that would be very, very bad. But I will dismiss it for now, okay?
Shall it be the gorillas, the religious ministers, or the professors from Harvard? Who are the God?
Somebody's saying congratulations when the job is well done. Encourage the police officers to continue to do so. But before you take an oath to serve as a police officer and the public and graduate to be a grog in the police force, just resign the job and to be a rogue and spoil your name, your good name. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes?
Matt, allow me to make my final contribution on that, and I'm going to turn off my radio because, Matt, sometimes I feel Dominicans, they're like energy vampires. They're like parasites, Matt. If they do not get a host to feed on, they have no thoughts of their own. Matt, listen to me and listen to me carefully. What two rights make Matt?
A wrong.
Two rights can make a wrong.
Well, that's what we were taught all along in maths. Two rights makes a wrong.
No.
Two rights is a right. Yes, it remains a right. Yeah.
Matt, most of the time when two rights collide, Matt.
Like two positives remain a positive.
Matt?
And like two positive remains a positive. Yes.
It can generate nothing. So sometimes, Matt, it take the opposite part of evil or of good to really generate a reaction or some feedback. Matt, I'm looking at a bigger picture. Somebody will just call and say, oh, blessings, that is not wise. Well, say something wise. Telling me what I said is not wise. It is not wise. Matt, you cannot be at your home smoking, drinking, bringing prostitutes at your home while your wife at work, your children, they're seeing you. Then when they do something, you tell them two rights don't make a wrong. Matt, don't you think you're a clown, Matt? For you to be that lavish and that blatant or obvious, Matt, in your actions when you want.
In other words, Blessed, I know where you're going. Blessed. You're saying the lessons have to come from the top. I'm sure we've learned that as kids, you have to follow the leader.
And that is what I am saying, Matt. Even when somebody hear me make that, they'll say there's a level of sarcasm and a level of justification to what Blessings is saying. No, blah, 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 blah. So that's why me, Matt, I always saying, you see, Dominica is a lost cause, my brother. If you want those police officers to be upright, be honest, be sincere, be truthful. You cannot be doing all that foolishness in a country, disappearing billions of dollars, and want police officers to be saints. Have a blessed day. I go turn off my radio. I don't want to listen again.
Blessings continue to live. Listen, 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097. This, of course, the numbers to call. And I see a lot of reactions there on Facebook. Let's continue. This program is 1:38 in the afternoon.
Being up wondering, this question is the hardest of
It's
Those of you who may have missed it, because a lot of people are now calling me, it's already 40 minutes into the program. Tuning in late, they want to hear the breaking news. Okay. The breaking news this afternoon. An informed source, and it has informed Q95, that the police officer is now in police custody, being questioned by the lawmen for the disappearance of 228 grams of cocaine at the police station. Q95 can further confirm that he's also being questioned for the disappearance of a 12-gauge ammunition at the said police station where he's stationed, currently in police custody at the Criminal Investigation Department. And his lawyers also with him as the investigation continues. This developing story It is a developing story, and we will continue to monitor the situation closely and update you accordingly, according to my informed source. I hope you have recorded it now, huh? Now that the news has been broken again. Yeah, some people just want to hear it over and over and over again. Put your phone on and record, okay? All right, let's go back to the telephone. It's 1:42 in the afternoon. This is Q95. Yes. Are you there?
Mark,
Yes, sir.
yeah, good afternoon. Welcome back.
Good to be back, sir.
Yes. Let me tell you, I forget most of my thoughts because you have no idea. I know your fault
Okay.
for having me so long. But I remember what I will say, man. When I asked Ranking Moses a question the other day, he told me to ask, I still ask Pastor Rodney. I have to check on that. But I just be thinking deep. If we hear Satan dead or Satan get a stroke or something wrong, bad happened to Satan, what do you think we should do?
Satan?
I talking about the Satan in hell over there.
No, well, we're not talking about Satan this afternoon. We're talking about the police. That's anyway, 449-3095. We're talking about the police in police custody. We don't want to shift the subject this afternoon. You can call back and talk about Satan and God some other time, okay? But we prefer to focus on God. I'll make your point. Hello, talk to me. Yes.
Yes. My take on that.
Yes, tell me.
It's good when the police can focus on their own, investigate their own, and to arrest their own, or maybe sometimes get results from when their own do something. But not the same way they're doing that. But so many things you hearing happening within the walls of government, man. Some of them are ministers, some of them are working in the public sectors, not service, and you're hearing a lot of things going on. Why the same FSU or FSI or whatever else they are, if they are, why they don't investigate them cases and to really get down to it till you hear they make an arrest of somebody, man.
So are you trying to be selective as to where, why, and how this police officer should do their work? I'm just asking a question, Blue Blue.
No, Matt, I'm not being selective. I'm just saying the same way they must investigate their own.
The same energy they put into the investigating their own. That's the question you want to ask, yes?
That is it. Investigate all the other things you hear not happening within the walls of government. But they're not doing that. You hear, if that, okay, take for instance, we have a mausoleum sign up in the middle of Roseau. They're watching it every second of the day they're there. Them people in that same department, some of them. How come none of them haven't really go down to the nitty-gritty to really investigate to find out who the hell owned that house that's signing up in Roseau there? And a lot of the other things. Investigation, all you're doing, investigate well. So then we will be clapping all you all the time. But don't investigate all you colleagues.
So you're saying basically, Blue, they've been selective in their investigations. That's what your point.
Apparently, Matt. Because what it was, they arrested another young policeman for how much grams of cocaine. And we hear he in the ranks of his big man upstairs there. And we know that case might not go nowhere. Now we hearing that one again. According to who he is, the case might not go nowhere. But not doing serious shit in that country. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Blue. Bye-bye. Now, here's a question here. Matt, over the past 15 years, police officers, there's a question for Commissioner and the top-ranked police officers. Because it seems as a big cloud is hovering over the police service at this time. Mr. Blackboy, I hope you're taking note. Over the past 15 years, policemen have been detained, even arrested for drug possession, gun possession, child abuse, sexual abuse, theft. Can you tell me how many have been brought before the courts or convicted or imprisoned? That's a very good question. Again, the question there to the police officers, the commissioner, and the top police officers. Over the past 15 years, how many police officers have been detained or even arrested for drug possession, gun possession, child abuse, sexual abuse, theft? Can you tell me how many have been brought before the court or convicted or imprisoned? Or how many of them have been transferred, gotten scholarships, government jobs? Well, the police are definitely under the microscope this afternoon, boy. Somebody says here, it is well known from history that the kingdom never collapses from within or from without. Collapse always happens from within. Somebody else says, man, I'm listening and reading, please. The police department is not on us and them. The police is here to protect and serve. The country will become corrupt at every level because there is blatant corruption occurring in all departments. I am not saying what he did was right. When is their own police officers committing crime, they keep it hush-hush. And once they don't support you, or support them, they trash you up. Somebody's asking, what about persons murdered in jail? That's a different story now. Tell me from what context you're speaking. Let's take a voice note. This is the Talk on the Block.
Good afternoon, Matt, and good afternoon to all Dominicans. Matt, that is very interesting news, but it's not surprising. And you think this is only one bad apple this Dominica police force has in it. And I hear about spoiling good name. Good name, that Dominica police force does not have any good name because they have been beset with all sorts of crimes ranging from one to another. Now they're investigating one of their own who has stolen the evidence, which is whatever grams of cocaine he has stolen, and a missing firearm. But Matt, is that police officer operating solo? And is there a drug ring within the Dominica police force?
Interesting question.
And as I totally understand what Blessing was saying, When there's a breakdown of law and order, when there is crime at the helm of the country, you get all those things there. A corrupt police force. The force has been corrupted by those politicians. So it's criminals protecting criminals. Matt, didn't you see their behavior in the last protest action? Thugs, thugs, mistreating Dominicans, violating the rights of Dominicans. When I look at these people, you know, they look like hoodlums within the police force. So when you see that type of open behavior, you have to understand what goes on behind the closed doors. These people, they do not respect the oath. They do not respect law and order. They are not protecting Dominica and its citizenry. And Matthew will hear a lot more than that. Look at what happened in the Choxy situation the other day. When the brass tacks, the high level of the hierarchy of the police force were involved. It is alleged that they were involved in the kidnapping, in the extraterritorial kidnapping of Mehul Choxy. So when you see those things happening, you expect worse. When you see politicians being so corrupt, you expect worse. A corrupt government is protected by a corrupt police force. So that is what you see happening, Matt. No wonder the US is cracking down on drugs in the Caribbean. Because they know some of the very same politicians are involved with the drug dealers. What happened after Hurricane Maria? Who were given the boats? It wasn't the fishermen. They were the young men who don't even know how to catch a flying fish, but they were given the boats and the fishermen were left without. So when you see all of those things there, you just have to wait a little while and let let what is hidden in the darkness come out in the light. But that police force there, it needs to be purged. It needs to be thoroughly investigated. And I wish, an investigative body like Scotland Yard or the FBI or some other could really investigate the corruption and the crimes that take place in the Dominica police force. No wonder these people can't respect those people, Matt. The people can't respect those people. Mark you, I am for law and order. But you cannot believe in law and order when the breakdown is within the men who supposed to serve, protect, and to honor the oath. I really don't understand. A lot of them need to be stripped from the badges and the guns and given the boots. Some of them need to be in jail too. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you. All right, Dominica 449-309596. Remember this guy called Barbecue in Haiti? He was a former police officer. I hope we don't get there. But as I said earlier, I was talking to a few police officers who prefer to remain anonymous. And the basic reaction was, Matt, I'm not surprised. We are frustrated. When we see what's going on at the top. Mr. Weeks, I think we need to have another conversation sometime, okay? On the telephone, are you there? Yes.
Yes, Matt.
Yes.
Yes. We've seen this thing play out before, because a lot of them they arrest police officers and the state has to end up paying them. So a proper investigation leads to a proper prosecution and conviction. Unless that time there's no rejoicing, Most times you hear they have to pay up the police officers compensation for wrongful arrest and forced imprisonment.
So your point is to say what? You say let the
Yes,
let the investigation continue. That's what you're saying. That's your point.
it is done properly.
Okay.
Then
Yes,
nothing
we
to rejoice.
we agree. There's no rejoicement. I'm just saying, or there's no rejoicing. I'm saying that we have to always take care of police officers because I'm telling you, as I've said to you, that there are a few officers who have said, "Man, I'm not surprised because they're all frustrated within that police force. A number of them are. They are. And if it's wrong, my brother. If it's wrong, say it's wrong. Somebody's adding the point, Matt. What do you have? You do not have a police force when it's being controlled by a party of politicians in and out of government. Somebody says Barbecue was a police officer, a former police officer, who chose to fight corruption. Our own police officers appear, a number of them, to be supporting corruption. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes?
Matt,
Yes, sir.
Matt,
Yeah.
again, I was telling you I finished with the first topic and coming back to your topic here.
Go ahead.
It was pertaining to it. But
If it was just make the connection there.
forget about that. Talking about the police now.
Okay, go ahead.
Now
Sir.
let me tell you, I'm not too sure how to go and look up and rejoice in me and whether those people should rejoice or not at certain time. But Matt, if the police frustrated and hands tie and can't do their work, and I know that, I think I don't incite in anything, but I think they should do like what them so the guard and them doing 4 years ago. It's to pick up the arms and pick up the wrongdoers, investigate them. And what the man say a while ago there, I know he speaking good English, but you don't understand. I don't know if the police and them planning, like how they hold up this man and then to let him go or do the investigation wrong, and then you have to pay us the citizen without tax money. So they have to get who that can investigate him and them properly. Hold them and then let them go and then they go and share money. I don't think it's that. But it could be that. I listen.
All right, brother. Thank you very much. Your point is to investigate properly. Matt, do you remember the brown paper bag? That was stolen evidence. Now he's a celebrity, and the young police officers have taken note. On the telephone, hello, talk to me, yes?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
My friend drug dealers in the Caribbean, they're very frustrated now because why? Trump is in the Caribbean and drug care go here and everywhere. They pull a stop on that. So they're getting like wild pigs now. That's all about it.
Wild pigs. I don't see the connection here. It is sad to see how the police force has become. The past CID men worked so hard to bring the force to a standard. Now it has gone to grass. This is one somebody's adding there on Facebook. Matt, there's so many unanswered questions. If we are to dig deeper, one may be surprised. What will be discovered? Under the microscope, the police officers. Ella, talk to me.
Matt,
Yes,
for
sir.
many years, those policemen have been asking for an increase of the salary. If you were in your place, what would you do?
That gives them a reason for what? Doing what is wrong? You don't work, do you?
Excuse me?
I said, do you work?
Well, yes, I do. Yes, I work.
All right. Do you work for any agency or do you work for yourself?
Self-employed.
Are you happy with the kind of monies you're taking in at this time?
No,
Okay. So will you go on TIFF to get it?
that's not me. I will not do that.
All right. Thank you very much. You answered your own question. 201. On the telephone, boy. So much has been revealed there. Hello, on the telephone.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, my brother. How are you?
Mother, in connection with the investigation that going on, I called to support the guy who said, let's wait until it gets to the end, Matt. Because, Matt, you remember an expert was charged for 7 counts of guns or ammunition, and he pled guilty at the court. And just because the police didn't ask him whether he had a license, he walked away free, man. That is so sad. So let's see what happens.
Somebody writes a point here. Dominicans are paying attention. When Hitler was doing wrong, those who supported him never saw him as a dictator. By Dominic our story. I'm just reading some WhatsApp, some messages there on the Facebook page. Huh? King Austin.
Within every system, there are laws, and those who enforce them obviously was love in the hierarchy is non-significant. So we find it necessary and highly important to gather our civil rights and surround this world with a freedom will that night to have full control. With fear, trust, and guardian feet to protect us. Let's stand for the birds. What the God is that? The armies, navies, and air forces, the KGBs and the petty forces, the IAs and Scotland Yards. What the God is that? The chiefs of security must be in a quandary. This question is the hardest of us. What the God is that?
This is Caribbean Vibes.
Somebody's asking a few questions. Matt, who dropped the white men at Mr. Linton's home? Who removed Malik from the accident by the port? I don't think it was by the port, though. The Bellevue area. Or who dropped Malik at the airport? Oh, you mean you're talking about another accident, another incident? Who investigated the Gun Emmanuel matter, the Gun Emmanuel fire? Who returned the gun in Savin Pine? Dominic has let the system get away with too many termites. Now the house is falling apart on us. I'll ask the question again. Who dropped the white men to Mr. Linton's home? Who removed Malik from the accident at the port? Who dropped Malik to the airport? Who investigated the gun Emmanuel fire? Who returned the gun in Savon Pine? The house is now falling apart.
Guardians of the cities, guardians of the air, guardians over land and seas, here and everywhere. Just like the steady beat of a man should know. We have become quite obsessed with the militant syndrome. What independence is, we have conjured up a chain of ascendancy, reaching a little. If it is this fortune, depends upon rank and base, Western for the land, who are the guardian. Administrators of state defense, the many heads of intelligence, DSP and national guard, who are the guardian. Shall it be the gorillas, the religious ministers, or the professors from Harvard, who are the guardian?
This is Caribbean Vibes.
As a police officer, watching another police officer break the law and get promoted, that is a wicked reality to leave and devote your life to. I don't know what's a message.
So we find it necessary and highly important to gather our civil rights.
Somebody writes here, Matt. The police force belongs to the people of Dominica, run by our friends and family. As a result, it's answerable to the people. There is a reason why police, more than any other institution, has to be disciplined and not corrupt and non-corrupt. When the top brass has been named in illegal transportation of individuals without due process, he should have been fired. He was promoted. When the head of the police is involved in these activities, then he cannot be, without good faith, set example for subordinates. Oh boy, 449-309. Are you still on the caller? Let's take on a call. Yes, hello, talk to me. Yes. Yes, caller.
Yes, Matt.
Yes, sir.
You know what comes to mind? Recently, there was this assassination, drive-by shooting of this young brother just by the Batter State Bridge. They're waiting for his bus. And we were promised by the hierarchy, by our government, that cameras were going to be installed. Granted. So you see where cameras have to be installed within the police station. So if there was a camera monitoring the exhibit station where the exhibits are, and the officer at the monitor would have seen who goes in and out of the exhibit station, who goes in and out of the armory,
Take, for instance, Matt, our friend Naren Murphy, he's my friend, I can call his name. He cannot go in the vault alone, all alone in the National Bank and help himself to $1 million. So it is that no one officer should have access to the armory all alone. He should be able to go.
No. But Peter, I'm getting the point. But I'm saying this police officer may have been taken in for within his police station. I not necessarily a police station in the road, so within his own police station where he's stationed. Are you getting it now?
And his own station should have had cameras, and the only way he should have access to the exhibit to the was he had to enter with a superintendent or a sergeant who would both sign and who would be monitored on a camera. Mr. Blackmore knows exactly what I'm saying.
I get you.
You have to monitor your own. You cannot go in the armory all alone. One officer, he must have access with a sergeant, a senior superintendent, and they are monitored on camera by an officer 100% of the day. The camera is monitoring the exhibits. The camera is monitoring the armories. So that way, they would have seen what time he went in, what time he had access. Why was he allowed all alone to have access to the exhibit, to the cocaine that was seized, to the armory? That's what comes to my mind, Matt. I mean, surely that's where they must put the cameras, within their own station.
Well, I know recently Mr. Blackmore announced that they were going to put cameras at the for the prison officers. That's what I heard.
So now within his own station, he needs cameras.
Okay.
And he must revise his policy. One officer alone cannot have access to exhibit. There must be two keys, two officers. One is a very senior officer who is joined by the other, who signs in and is monitored on camera. What time I go in and have access to the exhibit, we're going downtown to the court. We have to bring the 100,000 euros to the court. And we have it under sealed lock and key. And you're monitored every minute that you didn't put some in your back pocket. And what comes to mind, Matt, out of 1,000 officers, one or two is going to fall by the wayside. And someone made the point earlier, if you give an officer $2,500 take-home pay, he's going to fall if he's weak. You never trained him in the training session with exhibits, with arms, and set up a trap and see who would be the weak ones in the training station. You have to do all those things. It's just a pity. And Mr. Wicks comes to mind when he says, you think they're good there within themselves? Some of them are bad themselves. I wish you would play Mr. Wicks. Mr. Wicks' statement made an impact on me, and it left an impact on me. God bless, man.
God bless you. I'll try to find it, okay?
Shall it be the gorillas, the religious ministers, or the professors from Harvard?
Somebody's asking a question, a very important man. Should the police not investigating politicians and making arrests too? So politicians are perfect? When I joined the police force, I actually walked into the headquarters to make the dictation test in the conference room. No pull string, no friendship. When they called the names, I did not hear my name. I gave my name knowing that I applied. Years later, an elderly lady told me in Creole, my son, I always knew you would have been a police officer. I did inventories of firearms and ammunition for years. I never got tempted to sell because I collected firearms from the port. I never stole one. That's a level of high morality and discipline that once existed within the police force. But it goes beyond just low ranks. Words have power. Our leaders, firstly, are setting bad examples. See how Lauren Bannis is now British Commissioner Boy, oh boy.
This is Caribbean Vibes. What the God?
Somebody said they wanted to hear Mr. Wicks and his statements. Let's go back to that, okay?
The discipline level in the police force is going down progressively. We must set the example. We must be above reproach. The selection and recruitment process must be reviewed. Tell them I say so. The moral of the police department is progressively getting lower. As I said, the discipline. Now, as I come on discipline with regard to the police force, one of the striking issues of the police force in relation to discipline or infractions that may be caused on the public, abuse or whatever, is the issue of this chronic, painstaking, laborious, nonsense tribunal. What I'm trying to say is that if a policeman does something that's wrong, whether internally or externally, there should be a way in the police force, some kind of mechanism to deal with it expeditiously. So what you have is this lagging and delaying and all kinds of things, but the policeman is still working and he has done something wrong. It's not being dealt with expeditiously. In other words, we are accountable to the citizenry, and because we are custodians of the law, and because we must be above reproach, and because we must set the example, it must be seen that we are doing something quickly to arresting bad behavior and evil. Mr. Irish, who is an officer, can tell the commissioner I say so tomorrow and he can dismiss me. It's the truth. It is the truth. You talk about drugs and so on. In every organization, I've heard every organization, whether in ministry there, whether in your office there, Mr. Bianzin say inside of the church, you think the church perfect? You think the church perfect then? You think the pastor perfect or the last foot soldier perfect then? You think the policeman perfect, the fireman? All of us have issues. I am saying that the issues must be addressed and addressed promptly. When you catch them, you must tell them. You must deal with them. I am a professional public prosecutor. If I have to prosecute, if my life has to go is making a contribution, that's fine. I must be part of an organization that is seemingly clean. The public expect us to be clean. You cannot be arresting people for drugs or saying giving people for ticket for thing, but you break in the keep clear. You ought not to do it. It's wrong. And I'm saying the police high command, when reports, so you bring a report on Claude Weeks for X, Y, and Z, I must be investigated. Don't you just make a note and then business as usual. Sometimes these are the people who get promoted. These are the people who are acknowledged. So I'm saying rogue cops, whether in the Dominican police force or wherever globally, they must be dealt with robustly. They have to be punished. Of course, I must hasten to say, there must be evidence. It's one thing to say X, Y, and Z, and that's why we've been talking a lot to break the culture of silence. So if a policeman is involved in drugs, just as we're trying to bash down those heavy dons, we call them dons in Jamaica, and we'll say Papa here. The same way if it has Papa in the police force, must identify, bring it, and come and testify. It's to come and testify. We are only opening our mouths and shouting, yes, the police is in that. Yes, the police, but come, and let us deal with them to get out. Because why? Because I'm inside. I am at risk as well. Thank you.
I always ask a question loud in my mind. Why was Mr. Commissioner, why was Mr. Wicks never made commissioner of police, huh? That question remains until now. Somebody's reminding me, Matt. You remember the guys that died in the mad accident early that morning going to the airport? I remember, yes, the footballer there from La Plaine. And the police was working in the Castlebrose police station. He took the guy's wallet And when asked about the money, he said he put the money out to dry and fly away or flew away. But today he's acting sergeant because he kissed somebody's ear squared. This policeman was arrested for underage child. You never heard no case, but he climbing up the police rank. Please read my message. I say let's bring back Mr. Wicks as National Security Advisor of the Minister of National Security. It would be good for the country. At least we still have a chance. Mr. Wicks is still healthy and able. Like I told you, Matt, the real corruption lies within the politician. That's where the police should direct their focus. So many messages. I've seen our Prime Minister sending congratulatory messages to the Prime Minister, Mr. Ali, out of Guyana. Dominica's Prime Minister, that's a story there I'm reading on Nature News, extends congratulations to Dr. Ifan Ali of the People's Progressive Party Civic of Guyana, as well as Dr. Andrew Holness and the Jamaica Labour Party. Both of them, of course, emerges victorious. Prime Minister Skerritt says Dominica values deeply the bonds of friendship and cooperation which unite our countries within the CARICOM region, or within the Caribbean community CARICOM. We look forward to working together to further strengthen regional integration and promote the shared aspirations of all peoples. Please accept my best wishes for your continued success as you lead your nations into new terms of progress and development. Let's go to the telephone. It's out. Wow. 2:23 already in the afternoon. This is the top. Yes, nurse. How are you, nurse?
Matter, I'm fine. Matter, you remember the number of nights I couldn't sleep in my neighborhood with Spanish? And you remember the amount of nights. Remember I was a nurse. I'm working day and night. And Spanish singing and playing and unconcerned. All the people telling me, yes, they will stop it. I write 300 people here sign up a petition. The Prime Minister said they'll get back to us. Jigsaw him up away. You know who stood up for me? Commissioner Wicks. Mr. Wicks, God have to bless you. God have to help you. Don't worry who hold you down here. God will release you in heaven. You'll go straight in his bosom. Love you, Mr. Wicks.
Thank you, nurse. Thank you. Have a great afternoon here.
Matt, good afternoon. Mr. Linton brought many evidence, right, against the government about the money that are missing, and nobody was arrested. Not one person. Okay? So that's what they're trying to say. From the top, nobody's been arrested, and they are doing all kind of nonsense. All right? So the police know all that. The policemen know all that. So they try in their scheme as well. But guess what? They are unlucky. But that one person has been arrested from the top with all that billions of dollars missing. Is anybody arrested?
All right, let's go back to the telephone, Dominica. It's already the afternoon time, 2:25. Talk to me, yes.
Yes, Matt. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir. Yes.
Matt, I heard you ask somebody or ask people earlier on to record whatever you were saying. But I never found myself recording what Mr. Linton was saying about how many passports were sold. And I think I heard Mr. Rogers say when he was somewhere in St. Vincent, somewhere there, we sold around 50-something thousand passports. And if my memory serves me right, I think I heard Mr. Linton saying about $11 billion. But nobody has arrested anybody for that. So let go that policeman, please.
Two wrongs again. Two wrongs can't make it right. Two wrongs cannot make it right. If he did wrong, and I accept the point that you made earlier. Why would you want to, of course, release this police officer when he has done wrong? Why? I get your point. Now everybody wants to ask me. See where I sit down there in the afternoon? Who the police officer is? And even if I knew that police officer has not been charged or arrested, so I cannot, given law, I cannot at this time. If he has not been arrested and charged, I cannot reveal the name, okay? Please understand. I suspect this due process will continue, and you may want to go to the court when and if he's brought to the court. You'll find out for yourself. Somebody says a prominent Calypsonian was arrested for theft at the port. Was the matter never ever prosecuted or prosecuted? Bro, the system is red or dead. At least your eyes are beginning to open. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes?
Matt boy, when you break in, you just break it fully. But what I really want to tell you is that that's not really breaking news, you know. When you have the real fellas and them arrested, the bigger guns, then you can say you breaking something. No, you just scratching the surface, so that is nothing big. You get me?
So you mean the big officers or just the
Yeah. I
the
want
big
you
officers?
to break this thing right in the middle, man.
So you think the big officers will arrest the big officers? That's
Bigger officer, all of them, just break the right thing.
Somebody says here, I can't confirm that the St. Joseph's police station, remember the guns were missing, was burglarized. How long ago? And no cameras have been placed there? Much less. Mr. Blackman, I hope you're taking note. Because Dominicans are now watching more closely.
Matt, let me say it. Right now, Matt, I getting real pissed with Dominicans, you know. Dominicans, Dominice. I don't know if it's the name Dom that have them like that. Matt, what do you expect the police to do? Matt, the world rough, right? The world is in a crisis. But Matt, Dominica rough, huh? Dominica worst. Matt, what Scary do with Dominica money, bon Dieu? What did he create? What good paying job Scary created, put in place? So people will stay in Dominica and work. So much money that Prime Minister make money or get. What did Prime Minister do with Dominica money? What did he do? What he build? What factories he build? He done got banana. What did he put in place to sustain banana? What did he do? St. Lucia still have banana exporting. And Dominicans not exporting banana. We have the best soil. We have more water. We have the best of everything. Something is wrong. Papa Body is scared with resign. Come out there, you mash it. You destroy the country. Believe me, you look what the police have to do to survive. Because you didn't give them a proper paying job. They haven't got no money. Rest their salary. So, Papa Body, you mean to say that we put you there in power for my boy? That's what you're doing to the people. But they don't need you over here, so scared call election. You must lose. I bet in everything I have against you, you're losing. If you don't lose, right? Yeah. We might just go in a sinking hole in Dominica. And I really praying to God that don't happen. But this can come out there. You badly handle the money. You badly misuse the money of Dominicans. Dominicans election, so it's not his money. You build house. You don't build house. You build gangster. You don't build house. You build gangster. Where the yard? Where's the people in the yard? For them to raise their goat and their pig and their whatever. We have a culture, my brother. Get from there. Sortilla, wicked.
Remember when they stole the guns at the police station there in December 2023? How much investigations have we done? Is that case solved? Really stealing guns in St. Joseph, December 2023? On the telephone, hello, talk to me. Yes. Oh, good afternoon to you, sir.
I second the motion. What the guy said, I second the motion. I endorse what he said. That's all about it.
Somebody now says, Matt, in a corrupt system, even the cameras themselves will be selective. On the telephone, hello, talk to me, yes? Even the cameras are selective, yes.
Boy, man. My question, in all the investigation happening there, what happened to the $500,000 that was from that plot? And you hear a lot of people name were involved with that $500,000 US at plot. What happened to that investigation? It died because of whose name that was involved in it? Yes,
good. I'll call it Miss Charles. Good question. Next question. All right. 233. On the telephone, hello, talk to me, yes?
Yes, Blue, the investigating officer for that case retired, and the new officer for that case is on sick leave, so when he comes back, he'll start back.
You seem to have more information than I do. And somebody saying Q95 serves government as a think tank, huh? All the answers to the country's problems are coming from Q95 via the programs with Matt. Government should start paying Q95. And all the advice coming from these programs. I tell you, Justin, it's a university, huh? Hello, talk to me. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, sir. Yes?
The entire 295 option. This is Murder Bernard Monroe on here. I hope this time around that is not you're doing that to enrich that police, and they don't do so. Coco Maca is the case, and then the guy win his case in court, and then sue the government, for some amount of money. I hope it's not that is played out in that one. Yeah.
All right, caller. Thank you very much. Dr. Dill is now coming out with a book. You should try to get a copy. Entitled "How the Caribbean Leaders Sold Their Birthrights." It speaks to leaders in the Caribbean since independence have made the wrong choices and they have mortgaged the destiny of their people. Look out and get a copy, huh? How the Caribbean Leaders Sold Their Birthrights. By our own Dr. Dale Dangovan. Hitting the bookshelf soon. Senator Parrish, somebody's asking you to please write the British High Commissioner about the recent appointment reference what transpired with our recent ambassador, Ms. Bannis. I don't know why you would ask Mr. Parrish to write, but I guess you may have your own reasons. Hello, talk to me, yes? Talk to me. Yes. Hello. Hello. Caller. Are you there? Suspect you're not there. Let's move on. Somebody adds match for the 500,000 US dollars. We have converted it to the EC because it's a large amount of money. We're still counting a $1 a day. So just be patient. I think Mr. Leonard Matthew is on the telephone. Good afternoon to you, sir. How are you doing? Are you there, sir? Hello? I'm trying to connect with Mr. Matthew. Let's see if we can do that. We'll come back. We'll come back. Yeah, I think I now have Mr. Leonard Matthew on the telephone. Good afternoon to you, sir. How are you doing?
Fine, and you? How are you doing, Peltier?
Good, good. I see you're seriously concerned of what you're hearing. Read our police officers.
Yeah. Well, we have to be concerned of what we're hearing, Matt Peltier, because You know, when Blessings has, I have to quote Blessings because he has something that talks about events casting shadows, and when they're upon us, we seem not to see the signs. And Matt Pelty, you know, I have been one of those who have called for the resignation of the current chief of police, and there are reasons why. Matt Pelty, let me give you a little background so people will understand where I'm coming from. I grew up in a family full of policemen, four of them to be exact, were uncles and numerous cousins, some of them still in the police force. Matt Pelty, I'm going to call a gentleman name. His name was Bunty. His last name was Bunty from Tibo. He
I
used to
know
work
him.
in the CIA.
I know him very well.
And he would often come at my dad's home because my dad, as a school principal, was respected in the community, and his opinion mattered when there was a recruiting process. And the reason I'm calling his name because people can go and ask, and he can call for veracity of what I am saying. That gentleman used to come at my home, and he would ask my father questions about individuals who are about to join the police force. So if a young police officer gives a reference, then the CID will go to the home and ask questions about the certain individual, which is part of the recruiting process. Why that is important?
It used to be. Hold on, hold on. It used to be part of the recruiting process, and I'm not sure it still exists.
I am aware of what is existing right now. But why that is important is because if you are going to have somebody join the police force, you want to make sure that that person has a certain level of integrity. They have some value and have good standings. And the people who can tell you that are the people who grew up with these folks, their teachers, their principals, their community leaders. And that's why they give reference. So when I speak or I give my thoughts, it's not because there is any issue with the police force, because one of the first women in Dominica, police women in Dominica, was my aunt. So Matt Pelty, I know where I'm coming from. But more importantly, the police force belongs to the people of Dominica. The people, the direct people who are responsible for the police force are the people of Dominica. And I keep telling them, the uniform they use, the guns they use, the vehicle they use, they belongs to the people of Dominica. It doesn't belong to politicians. Where is Mr. Carbon, who was once the police commissioner and had the power to do and make decisions on behalf of the state? He's retired. When he retired, did he live with the power he had when he was in the police force?
No.
Absolutely not. That stayed there. I know people who I sat in classes with, friends of mine, who are now in the hierarchy of the police force. They joined the police force under the previous administration. Nobody questioned their loyalty to the party. Your only loyalty is to the state and the constitution. And when we have senior police officers involved in smuggling individuals without due process, when we have senior officers involved in drug trafficking, when we have police officers involved in theft, when we have police officers involved in activities that is unbecoming of a police officer, they need to be fired. Point blank. And there are currently some people who are getting themselves involved in issuing in the police force. And what we have seen happening, Matt Pelty, they are being promoted. So are we now surprised when gentlemen, young men who should be working on the international airport, the 1 point something billion dollars, are sitting down on a red bench in Roseville, smoking weed and wasting their life away and probably dealing drugs? I'm not saying they are doing that. When they are sitting on the bench and the police comes and it says there's too much gang activity and they take the bench away, guess what happens? A politician says, go bring back the bench. And somebody in the hierarchy gives an order to bring back the bench. That is when our society has deteriorated. Because as Wick said, from our recruiting process, from our leadership process, from our administrative process, we are failing the people of Dominica. So if a gentleman goes and steals weapons and deals drugs, when he signed up, he already signed up knowing what his salary was going to be. He already signed up knowing what his promotion process was going to be. So you should not be stealing. So whether it's drugs, whether it's shooting an individual without an investigation, whether it's the murder of individuals in the police station, whether it's wrongful arrest, whether it's selective arrest, This is unbecoming of our police force, and where we find ourselves today is a consequence of events that have been happening for the past 20 years. There is a total lack of discipline in the police force, and we don't need politicians to fix the problems. As I said earlier,
So how do we fix it? How do we fix it? I remember a couple of years ago we had a commission of inquiry, and at least some police officers were let off. But how do we fix what's going on right now?
Well. Here is what I keep telling you. The reality of the situation, and which is what Dominicans don't understand. There's an old saying: when the rain falls, it falls on all man's roof. It doesn't select. It doesn't select laborites, UWPites. It doesn't select freedomites. When the rain falls, it wets everybody. Dominicans need to realize they are the real owners of the government of Dominica, the institution that is in place. And the people who are responsible for calling a commission of inquiry is not going to do it. So we have to realize, unless we get together and ask for people like Lincoln Cobbett to resign, ask for people who have violated their oath as police officers, who have shown partisanship, to resign, and understand that the message, the information, the investigation, the cooperation that is required has to come with total honesty and integrity in the police force. Unless we start demanding these things, and I think too many times we focus so much our attention on the leadership of our parliament that we fail to realize that there are organizations and constitutionally instituted divisions of our government that are supposed to be independent and answerable to us. I know for a fact that the Police Service Commission is compromised because there's a gentleman who's there. He serves on every board in Dominica, and we all know whose dirty work he is doing. These are the kinds of people that we have to take our matters in our own hands when it comes to advocating for better in the police force. It cannot. We had a system where the CID would go around and make sure they do the background checks on the individuals, and all of a sudden, a gentleman people who hired under a different political party is now asking young people who go into the police force what they think about the prime minister or who do you support. That's a violation of the constitutional right. When the Constitution gives you a right to disagree with any government, it doesn't have to be violent. And I think the problem is we Dominicans sit by too much and accept and take everything year after year after year after year, and don't realize, unless we start doing what is necessary to make sure that we progress in the right direction, we're getting nowhere. What we've seen with the red bench, what we've seen with police, and by the way, it's not the first time a police have been arrested for drugs. I know a gentleman who used to drive bus from Mao area that had been implicated in transporting drugs from evidence, and he got fired. But it seems today there is selective justice, there's selective arrest. Materially, whether you transferring people without due process, whether you dealing drugs, whether you petty theft, whether you doing all illegal activities are unbecoming of the police officer, and they should be disciplined similarly. There should be no selective justice, because the expectation is, if you are in an institution where your decision can determine the life and death of an individual, can determine the freedom of an individual, you have to operate with integrity, you have to operate with honesty, you have to operate with some level of incorruptibility and independent of political influence. What has been happening right now, our police force is compromised, and if the leaders are involved in scrupulous activity, they cannot discipline any junior officers. It's a fact anywhere. And unless you remove these people from the top and put people who put country over themselves and a little promotion mentality, we will get absolutely nowhere. And this is the reason why I speak. The port belongs to we, the people of Dominica, every citizen, not the politicians. Mentality, you have a great day, man.
Have a great day. Have a great day. Have a great one.
I went to the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago in August 2003 as a Minister of Government in Trinidad and Tobago, a PNM Minister, and told him that there was bid rigging taking place in UD Court.
Oh boy. Our police force, our police service under the microscope.
Patrick, would I be like you? Should I fully?
As I said, I spoke to a few police officers, and
You see all these
what's happening here is frustration, especially the younger officers who is not in that state of mind to be mature, you know. Because I want a palace just like yours. My friend in Toronto, good afternoon to you. Hey, good true, good afternoon to you. Our favorite song on radio. Hey, Shirley at Pass, good afternoon to you.
Could we start in the month of June? Did you take land from the war? Will they still vote you for sure?
Somebody's asking the question, man, if the government cannot clean the voters list, which is names on the paper, it's not the police force they will clean up.
Is it true your eyes very long? Did you spend money to the ground? Yeah, the master bedroom alone, Patrick will blow me away. The figures they make known.
And of course, in his honor, I want to say our deepest sympathies to Mr. Matthew. Did he get an official funeral? I'm not too sure, but I'll find out. He's been laid to rest as we speak. I think this funeral service starts off at 3 o'clock. On behalf of his entire family, my friend, Mr. Matthew. Rest in peace. A police officer who's been laid to rest this afternoon. Yes, good. Should I play your song? You want a palace on the hill?
Do you see what the people need? Do you think he's a man of greed? You tell me to tighten the belt. What's your plan forever? You go on and you build your cars.
Mr. Cloudwicks would never believe that a man who can buy his own citizenship, charter a private jet, and have so many millions would come to Dominica for his first time through the back door. That is something Mr. Wicks would never absorb and digest and believe. I know Mr. Wicks. Mr. Wicks not perfect, you know. But you see that one, Mr. Wicks would never have believed that.
Do you think God will forgive you? Do you know that he loves you too?
Hey, Gertrude, you want some palace?
Would you change from yourself?
You should ask for some passports to sell in Toronto.
Will you give to God his word? Do you have an altar?
Again, Mr. Matthew, Mr. Williams, not Mr. Matthew, been laid to rest this afternoon, okay?
Do you take Holy Communion? Did you get rid of the older woman?
With the Prime Minister of Trinidad. He walks into the room with this food. I take it with me everywhere, he said. God.
Someone said we should have a petition to bring Mr. Wicks back as commissioner. It's good for our country.
Great blessing to my government.
Our list is the advisor to the Minister of National Security. I love this song. I love the song. They're from DeFosto, man. He's gone to the great beyond, but
Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago in August 2003. as a minister of government in Trinidad and Tobago, appeared the minister and told him that there was bid rigging taking place in Udicott. Should I be like you? Should I fool the people too? You see all these years I singing calypso, I singing the truth. Still can't win the ground. They just beat me in town. Can't buy my own house, no. Look at renting still. But just like you, is a palace I want to build. Maybe I have to be a politician in the end. Cause calypso money, there's no palace for me. I want a palace just like yours, with a for $300. Calypso can give me that. I'm telling you that. Want this for 20,000. I want about 10,000. I want to keep it like you. But it could be start building soon. Could be starting in the month of June. Did you take land from the poor? Will they still vote you for sure?
It appears by them police officers want their own palace on the hill, huh?
Is it true your eyes very long? Did you spend money to the ground? Yeah, the master bedroom alone, but it will blow me away. The figures they make known.
I want a palace just like yours.
For sure. Cost about 6 million. The executives with them more is the money squandalization. Some of people in poverty, some have nowhere to live tightly. Can you find that you build a palace? Well, I want to build one for me. I want a palace just like yours, with about $300. So can give me that. I'm telling you that. 3 million for trains alone. How much for the tax and stone? How much did the tractor make? I want to know what public say. More than 300 million spent. What the cash guarantee to the end? Did you put a burden on the clergy? Was it a waste of taxpayers' money? Do you see what the people need? Do you think he's a man of greed? You tell me to tighten the belt, but you're flat forever. You go on and you build your palace without no regards for the poor.
Again, our deepest sympathies to the family of former police superintendent Coffey Williams being laid to rest this afternoon. On behalf of the police department and his family and friends, Q 5 extends deepest sympathies. It was just a few weeks ago I saw him, we had a conversation.
Do you think God will forgive you?
He told me he lost his case in the courts.
Would you change from yourself this way? Will you give to God his word?
He looked a little disappointed then.
Do you have an altar inside of you?
My brother,
do you kneel down and say your word?
God has greater plans.
Do you take Holy Communion? Did you get rid of the older woman?
Let's take our final call for the afternoon day as we go. This is the talk on the block. Hello, yeah. So many phone calls. Are you there, caller? We cannot connect.
God speaks to her. In fact, God speaks to me through her. She's been a great blessing to my government.
And the big question remains, as the Foster says, will we ever rise again? Will we ever rise again?
Rejected me as their king. When that day comes, the people will cry out for relief from the king they've chosen, and the Lord will not answer them in that day. The people chose materialism, greed, dishonesty, and covetousness, from a paradise of love to a haven of gloom and doom. Could we rise again? With you, yes we can. Yes we can. Yes we can.
A very special good evening. Grand Day.
Remove the words Trinidad and put in Dominica for now. And this is how we wrap it up for the afternoon.
Tell me how did we come this way?
Oh, my Dominica.
Something home and pray. The devil easy, I say. Oh, no. I feel it, the pain for you, mama. The revelation strikes at your door. Still we are on. Your children have lost their way, fighting for survival each day. Oh, no. Going from dawn till dawn. What is happening to my country? Every day is a sacrifice. Not flowing like water daily. Life could be lost at any price. The anthem is now a whisper. Some don't need to stand when it plays. The Lord is now in control. So the good folk going away. Oh, Trinity, strength and God around me. The hills are alive in a different way. You're making a life. Who can be still, yeah. Would we rise again come what may? Oh, the mighty God, now cast the spell of uncertainty. Oh, my Trinidad. You see, when the rich is getting richer, the poor must remain empty. Oh, I say, oh, no, people falling for pain and hunger, inflation, cost of living high, and death no day. So the youth them on top the hill, somehow they break back no faith. So they turn to cry instead. The arms of the state disappointed. Still their salaries are daunted. Not increasing this fiscal budget. All money went the all time high. To buy no jets for so much of money. When the hospitals are leaking. Poor people at everyone's mercy. So the hills be acting. The hills are alive in a different way. They're putting could we rise again how could we truly excel in the midst of all this suffering? Oh, no. Tell me, like shadows in poverty is death, so it seems like the devil is king. Oh, no. Moving a gun to the heart of the ghetto is what we sow, we shall reap tomorrow. Who are we going to be? Even school children doing crime when that is the sign of the time. Have we now gone insane? Whilst we kill you one by one, skyscrapers going up in town. Chinese laborers and before, this beautiful sound shall see no more. So we have to hold on to keep them 10 days and months together. scraping the bottom of the barrel with all this money in town. What? Rise again, come what may. In this abundance of wealth, still the poor people cannot go. Oh my Trinidad, and they go.
Oh my Dominica.
That reality, so much I've given up. Oh my Trinidad, oh my Trinidad. Oh my, oh no, some turn to vagrants in the city, homeless children, men they have mercy, Lord. Child abuse, have risen again. Look like Gin and China come back in pop. The girls and them singing the song. To survive by any means necessary, dignity gone down the drain. Some say the leaders have failed to do right for one and for all. When there is an imbalance of the scale, then the writing is on the wall. If you ignore the plight of the people, well, the devil shall intervene. It's no divine intervention. I hope you know what I mean. The truth of God is a tree. God is right and sweet and great. No, the hills are alive and it is but the truth behind God is mine. In this land of the Lord is mine, never come what may.
A big sound on the big radio, Q95. Could we rise again, Dominica? Somebody says, good afternoon to you, Matt. No rats behind the. Is going to come out of this situation. The narrative from the police, when questions will be asked, is going to be investigations that go ongoing. And that will be the end of the story. I hope not. Matt, you're a journalist long enough to know every police officer enough is watching his back. Hence the reason why this is going on, or this is not going anywhere. Yes, we will rise again sometime.
I love you, mommy, mommy. Oh,
The big question is, will we rise again? All right, there's another big song there by the all-rounder. Look how Trinbago come.
And anytime all on them sound, you have a nice man in sound, right? Good. The name of the song, Look How Trinbago Come. And all you're going to tell me, judge me. Judge is all already? San Fernando already? The young boy come with a message. If a man can tell me so many years ago, I would have watched him in his face, man, and tell him no. If a man did get me so, but man should they go. I would have watched him in the face, man tell him no. We must have changes, and you must agree. But that kind of changes is not for me. When I look around and I see